Hey 49er fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Chat Sports, and today, let's get into the latest 49ers news and rumors. There's some trade stuff going around. There's also some injury news, both good and bad. San Francisco, like we talked about a couple of days ago, not technically out of the playoff picture, although honestly kind of out of the playoff picture. But I digress. There's still stuff going on in the world of the 49ers. Let's jump right into something we talked about a couple of days ago, and that is a trade for Carson Wentz. Now, we had some mailbag questions on our Thursday live Q&A. Quick shout out, other Thursday live Q&A coming up tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Don't be late. But anyway, people are asking Thomas, listen, Carson Wentz benched by the Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts beats the Saints. Are they going to try to trade Carson Wentz? And could the 49ers be interested? And the answer is apparently yes. ESPN put out their list of top 5 places Carson Wentz could be traded to. And guess who was number 1? You guessed it, San Francisco, the 49ers. So, the idea that the Eagles could be shopping Carson Wentz after the offseason, because of course you can't trade until the new league year, it's like after the Super Bowl, so March timeframe, becomes a very real possibility. And honestly, which we're going to look at in a second, the money works in terms of letting go of Jimmy Garoppolo and then trading for Carson Wentz. Now listen, let me just get this right out of the way. I would do this for a second-round draft pick. There is a price to Carson Wentz. You have to kind of go for risk versus reward. They're saying that they could cost up to a first-round draft pick to pay for Wentz. I don't see that as much, just because of how bad Wentz was here in 2020. More on that in a little bit. But in doing this, if you could give up a second-round draft pick while keeping your first-round draft pick to draft either a pass rusher or draft a cornerback and then get the quarterback of the future just via a second, it's something that I would 100% look at doing if you were San Francisco, because we all know Kyle Shanahan being let's be honest, quarterback whisperer that he is, at least the offensive genius that he is, if anyone could fix, quote-unquote, Carson Wentz, that is, if he even needs fixing, if anyone could do it, I think Kyle Shanahan would be right at the top of the list in terms of the places that Wentz could go to go ahead and be fixed. Now, we mentioned right now, currently, the 49ers have 3 quarterbacks signed under contract. As you obviously know, Garoppolo, he's number 1 when healthy, Mullins is 2, with Beathard being number 3. So, obviously, you'd have to get rid of either 1 or 2 of these quarterbacks to make room for Carson Wentz. And the scenario would be, which we'll get to here in a second, you would cut or trade Garoppolo, probably cut him, because I don't know you're going to find a football team that wants to trade for Jimmy Garoppolo, and then, of course, trade back for Carson Wentz, and then, there you go, brand new quarterback room and a brand new quarterback depth chart. Here's the ESPN article on the Carson Wentz trade, which goes into more detail on how this could actually work. Quote, releasing the off-injured Garoppolo would free up $23.6 million in cap space in 2021, a close match for the $25.4 million cap figure Wentz would occupy after being traded. 49ers coach Kyle Shanahan said in October that it was only a matter of time before Wentz turned things around. Maybe he meant a matter of a move instead. That, of course, was a quote from Kyle Shanahan pre-Eagle Niner game where Carson Wentz went on the road to Levi Stadium and beat the 49ers for like his second or third win on the year. It was a big win for Wentz and company. Now, you can argue that Wentz and Garoppolo both have had down years this year, and honestly, look at the stats, and the answer to that is obviously yes. Wentz played double the games and has worse completion percentage, but of course more yards, more touchdowns, and more interceptions. The QBR between Garoppolo and Wentz to me is dramatically different, but we're not going for, is Wentz better than Garoppolo based on this year? Is Wentz better than Garoppolo based on ceiling? I think all of us would agree that peak Carson Wentz, aka 2017 Carson Wentz, where he almost won the MVP and it was the Eagles Super Bowl year, was and is way better than peak Jimmy Garoppolo, which would have been last year where Garoppolo was good and obviously got to a Super Bowl as well, but I think we can all agree that Wentz's skill set just expands a little bit further out in terms of being an elite superstar quarterback. Again, Wentz has had kind of a regression just based on what he did in 2017. No one is arguing or debating that, but there is that long list of people in terms of experts and NFL GMs who have been anonymously quoted saying that they believe Carson Wentz is still a top 5 quarterback in this league under the right system. Philadelphia has a history of not giving him weapons, having poor offensive line play, and really the coach is kind of not really, I think, building Carson Wentz as he should be. And that could go into the fact that Carson Wentz is still, 1, valuable as a trade asset, and 2, very valuable to San Francisco as QB number 1 in the Bay Area. Can you just imagine peak Carson Wentz with Kyle Shanahan's play calling and Deebo and Jalen Hurts and Brandon Ayuk and the running game? Woo! Could be fun. It could be very, very fun. Obviously, a little early for this because they can't make a trade till the new league year, but we're going to be keeping an eye on this. You heard it here first. Wentz in San Francisco could make a lot of sense. Let me ask you guys this. Pin comment down below. I want you guys to reply to the pin comment today. I want to see if you guys would feel good about this trade. Who would you rather have as your quarterback, Carson Wentz or Jimmy Garoppolo? Type CW down below for Carson Wentz. Type JG down below for Jimmy Garoppolo. I just want to see what the comment section thinks about this, a.k.a. you guys. We'll get 10,000+ views on this video. Let's decide once and for all. Who do you think would be a better future quarterback in San Fran? Is it Garoppolo or is it Carson Wentz? Let me know down below. All right, let's move over to some injury news. You guys want good or bad first? Let's do good first. So the good news is that George Kittle is back at practice this week, of course being out since week 8, where he suffered that fractured foot that has healed nicely and recovered well, but it's still taken a long time to get him back out on the football field. And again, he's returning to practice this week. He could play on Sunday. They're optimistic he can play against the Dallas Cowboys, but there is no guarantee. Now, first off, let me just say this. Does he actually need to play? Like, it's good to get him back out there. And obviously, you pay him all this money. You should have your tight end playing at all times because he's a big payroll on the San Francisco's 49ers payroll and cap space. But does he really need to play? I know technically the 49ers can still get to the postseason, more on that in just a little bit, but I think a lot of us kind of figure the postseason is kind of out of the picture, and once it's officially gone, why play Jimmy Garoppolo, who's healed it with the foot, but I don't think 100%. You want him to be ready to go for 2021 when we expect the Niners to not only be healthy, but a big threat in the NFC. I, for one, just don't see a need to have him out there playing, but it's not what I think. I think the 49ers are going to put him back out there. And again, his chances to play on Sunday are very, very good. But as I said, does he really need to play? Like, the Niners have to have George Kittle out there? Does he? Got to get them to 8-8. That way they can possibly be a playoff team? I don't know. Keep subscribed, though, for the latest news all year long, especially updates on injury stuff like this. More injury news coming up later on in this video. But again, just hit the red subscribe button. You guys are all most likely subscribers. But if you're new, and a lot of people do watch this, brand new watchers, I appreciate you guys coming in. It's the best 49er YouTube channel, really the best 49er coverage, in my opinion, on the internet, because we just do nonstop 49er stuff in a quick and concise video, just like you see right now. Here was 49ers.com on Kittle with the injury update. Quote, George Kittle has been working his way back from a fracture in his foot suffered in Week 8. The tight end made the trip along with the team to Arizona, as the team has been encouraged by his rehab. Shanahan revealed that the tight end has a chance to rejoin the team at practice this week for the first time in 5 weeks. It has been an injury-filled season for George Kittle, for Garoppolo too, but for George Kittle, obviously not playing up to the standard that he has held himself at for the past couple of years, but I don't think anyone is sitting back and saying, has he lost a step? No, it's just injuries, and injuries have happened for San Francisco because they're the most injured team in the NFL. Next 3 games, obviously, they are not officially eliminated from the postseason, even though I said they technically were last on Monday after the loss. But there is a scenario where they win out at Dallas, at Arizona, and Seattle, and then somehow squeak in as the 7th seed. Your current NFC playoff picture, you've seen this before, it looks like this. Essentially, what would have to happen is you would need the Bucs to lose out, which honestly, the Bucs schedule is twice against the Falcons, very unlikely. The Bucs have to lose out. The Cardinals have to lose out. The Vikings have to lose at least one more football game, and of course the Bears as well. And then San Francisco jumping in at 8-8, and somehow with all the whole, tiebreaker clinching, be able to actually make it in as the 7th seed. Now, again, 8-8 is the least amount of wins you could possibly have. And so while we expect the Cardinals to probably be there at 9 wins, or the Vikings maybe to get to 9 wins, the Bucs will for sure be to 9 wins in my opinion. There is technically still a way. But I still feel like, especially if you were to lose on Sunday to Dallas, then you for sure need to sit him and probably a lot of your other star players, because honestly, the season would be over. Get the young guys in there and see what they can do for you in the future. Let me ask you guys this. Should Kittle sit or play? S for sit, P for play. I want to know what you guys think about this one. Again, it's just losing on Sunday to Washington really killed their chances. They'd won the game, then play, but they didn't. So here we are at 5-8, and the odds just are not in our favor. Quickly again, right now we take a quick peek at the 49er matchup on Sunday against Dallas. They are 3-point favorites on the road against the Cowboys. And if you guys have never bet on any sort of games, you're running out of time because, of course, 3 games left in the NFL regular season. So go ahead and sign up to bet with our friends at BetUS. Chatsports.com/49bet. Promo code is Niners125. I have a lot of people DMing me saying like, hey, gambling's a little confusing. I don't really know exactly how it works in terms of the sports world, but even though it is overwhelming, we're here to help. Email us, 49ers@chatsports.com, with any gambling-related questions you guys have, and we'll answer them and give you guys, hopefully, a nice little inside walkthrough on how to bet on games. You don't have to bet a ton of money, just $10 here, $15 there. It's kind of what I do, just have fun on Sundays and make watching non-full 49er games or 49er games a little more fun and exciting. 49ers@chatsports.com is that email. All right, bad injury news here. Let's just get through it. Deebo Samuel looking like he is done for the year after suffering that significant hamstring strain on Sunday against the Washington football team. 1 snap, really 1 play for Deebo, pulled out the hamstring. He's done. Kyle Shanahan said very unlikely to return this year. It has been an injured-riddled sophomore season. I mean, Deebo has had a ton. He's been in and out of the lineup, didn't start the year, then he came back, then he went out, then he came back again, now he's back out, and it looks like he will be shut down for the remainder of the year. I'll be honest, I kind of see this as a blessing in disguise for Deebo Samuel, and Niners Nation has a write-up on this on their website, and they would agree with me on this, saying, quote, Kyle said Deebo took the news hard, but Shanahan tried to explain to Samuel this could be a blessing in disguise, as Samuel's injury could heal 100% now. He added that now Samuel will understand what it takes to play every week in the league and how to take care of his body in the offseason, which I think may hint at a little bit that Deebo wasn't perfect in his offseason workout regimen as he was getting ready for the 2020 season. Young receiver, college age, trying to figure out how to just be an NFL wide receiver. This might spur him to try and be healthier, try and be more available, like a Larry Fitzgerald who's always ready to go in the National Football League, because the best ability is availability, and Deebo was not that this year. Even though, again, is it Deebo's fault? Not really, but still. Okay, quickly, like this video. Let's wish Deebo Samuel a speedy recovery together. Let's try to get 200 likes here on this video. Again, rest of the 3 games, if they somehow made it into the postseason, he could come back for the wild card round. Unlikely, but just kind of get healthy. Let's get the team 100% going forward. Again, Deebo Samuel played in 7 games this year, 33 catches, 391 yards, only 1 touchdown. That, for him, I'm sure, is a disappointment, but I think that, again, with rest and just being able to have another offseason under his belt and hopefully some health around him, Deebo could go ahead and continue to be a big-time threat for the San Francisco 49ers, which, if you look at it, when they get healthy and they have the wide receiver depth chart of Deebo 1, Ayuk 2, and maybe even Jalen Hurts as the number 3, Kendrick Bourne as a 4, that's an elite wide receiver group if they could just get healthy. We've seen what Brandon Ayuk can do. We've seen, or at least heard, what Jalen Hurts can do in training camp. If you can get all these guys healthy and together, 2021 could be very, very exciting. And speaking of that, maybe Carson Wentz is the quarterback, like we said earlier on in this video. If that's the case, woo, that could be fun. Could be very, very fun. Also, reminder, pin comment here down below. Who would you rather have as the quarterback? I really want to see what you guys think in terms of Carson Wentz or Jimmy Garoppolo. And there will be plenty of more quarterback rumors this offseason. And I want to see where you guys are standing early, as we still have 3 games left in the NFL schedule. There you go. Ultimately, for today here on the 49ers Report. We just want to jump in here and get you guys updated on the latest 49ers news and rumors. Live Q&A tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 Pacific, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys are subbed and ready to go. Ultimately, for today on the 49ers Report, I'm your host, Thomas Mott, signing off. To the rest of your day.